So what were the first symptoms you experienced?
So originally it was lower back pain that was consistent, and it would never go away, and it was this warmth in my lower back at all times. And sometimes I either couldn't go to sleep because of it, or I would wake up in the night because of the lower back pain. But as time went on, that pain spread and it started creeping up and up my spine until it reached my neck. And I also started getting flares on, like, in my chest and my ribs as well. So that was the original kind of symptoms to begin with. But it was progressive. So at the beginning it was pretty localized. It was like my lower back, and then it actually spread to my hips as well, right before I was diagnosed.
And how does it affect your daily life?
I'd argue that it genuinely impacts every aspect of my life. So from getting out of bed, obviously in the morning there's stiffness, and so sometimes it does take a little bit longer to get out of bed, but there's a lot of different aspects, I think, that, and a lot of them would impact me more than I would have. So fatigue, for example, is one that I deal with a lot, and it's a very debilitating symptom for me because I'm someone who likes to be on the go and make plans, and sometimes even though I'm not in pain, I still can't do what I want to do because of the fatigue. All in all, it's impacted a lot of my personal relationships with my family and friends, how I spend my free time, for example. It just feels like now there's something that I have to always consider. Whereas before, if I wanted to do something, I could just do it. Now it's like, oh, but how am I feeling? Will I be able to do it? And if I make plans, will I be able to come through and not cancel them?
How old were you when this first started?
So when I first started getting symptoms, I just turned 20. So right now I'm 23, so it's around 3 years now of symptoms, diagnoses and the such. When the doctor said, there's no cure for a lot of these conditions, you just have to learn how to manage it. Being exposed to that side of health was very scary, I have to admit. And now, obviously, I've been around a year, so this time last year I was re-diagnosed with AS. And when I first got diagnosed, it was really, really difficult because I had it was still in a pandemic, so it was a bit difficult reaching my doctors and things like that. And I just felt really unsupported. But now I think I'm on the treatment that I'm on right now is helping me a lot. And just learning to then learn how to juggle all the other aspects of it and try to slot them all together so that I know I won't get back to the way I was before diagnosis.
Learning to adapt to your new normal.
Exactly, yeah.
Persistent back pain. Could it be axial spondyloarthritis? Symptoms starting slowly. Pain in the lower back. Improves with movement. Nighttime waking. Early onset. Starts under 40. Check your symptoms at actonaxialspa.com.